Welcome to the channel, Scott's Garage HTX. Don't forget the HTX. And do I have a shocking video for you today? I know that word is overused in YouTube land, but I think this one qualifies. Next thing I'll say is sorry for the noise. I'm actually filming in my trailer during the hurricane because the power is out in the house and my mother-in-law is in the house. I didn't want to disturb anybody, quite honestly, so I just came out here. So sorry for the noise, but let's get started. The first thing I'll say about this video is nobody is hurt. Nobody's seriously hurt. I think the other individual came away with a bruise on his thigh and some road rash on his calf. But the incident happened, and right after I stopped my bike, I was terrified that I just ran over somebody and killed them. Terrified that it happened. Let's go over the video, and I'll run through it, and we'll talk afterwards. I'm coming down the back straight, and everything's doing fine. The bike is running good, and as you come up on turn 12, hard on the brakes, get off the bike a little bit and lean into turn 12. No problem. You can see there's a lot of traffic. Actually, we're trying to get by one or two people right here, and then I come into turn 13, and I'd say somewhere in between here, the engine shuts. The power cuts, it comes right back on, and boom, by then it's too late. He comes right up on me, and you can kind of see the aftermath. We got a couple other angles we can check out here, but he basically rolls out of this. I'm putting my hands up, trying to be as visible as possible at this moment. If we look at this again, you can stop it right here, and you can see where his line of vision is. It's not pointing fingers or anything like that, but you just tell, he's concentrating on his line and going around and probably looking at 14. By the time I get back on the power, it's too late. This is an overhead view. Right here, I realize I've been hit. I see the bike in my peripheral. I know somebody's down. I think to myself, I need to get out of here. The quicker I can get out of here, the faster they can attend to either medical or the bike situation. I apply the throttle, but I'm very sluggish. Something's holding me back. I look down, I realize that I have a passenger, and I immediately stop the bike. I'm glad I had the camera on the back of this and had this footage, because it showed one thing that I didn't do that I thought maybe I could have done or might have done, and that was once the power came off the bike, I drifted outwards, and then once it came back on, I darted back into the line. I think the video shows that I didn't do that. That's not pointing blame at anybody, quite honestly. I talked to the individual after the incident, and he was the nicest individual I think I've ever met in my life. It just so happens that he was looking down track, probably into 14. He had his line, he was at a lean angle, and the incident happened. Race control pointed no fault at anybody, just said it was a track incident. So there you have that part of it. I was concerned, I wanted to have takeaways from all of this, right? And if something like that happens, you want to be able to analyze it. I talked to some of the instructors and asked them if they had seen any of the race footage or the track footage, excuse me, and so forth, and tried to get input from them. If there's one thing I wish I could have done was recognized and reacted sooner and got off the track, off the line, into the green area, off into the runoff and stuff like that. I just didn't react that quickly. I wish I could have, but I didn't. So it's one of the takeaways from me. Other thing I'd like to say about this is that I don't know what happened to the bike and why it hit that dead spot, but I maintain my bikes impeccably. Not only do I go over from head to toe, I also have a very competent shop look at this bike. And when I bought this bike, that was the first thing I did, was take it to them and say, I want you as professionals to go through this bike, all through the bike, and make sure this is a safe bike. And we did make some changes. We got the check engine light off on it. That was a simple issue. We put new tires on it. We did other things, but this bike, and the bike was performing perfectly. I took this bike to another track event before and ran some good times on it, was learning on it, and it didn't skip a beat. But going forward, we are going to put this bike on the dyno, see if we can recreate the issue before it goes back out on the track. That's the responsible thing to do, and that's what I'll do. As far as my bike goes, well, I lost a fender. Not a big deal.
His bike, not so much. He had carbon fibers on his, and the front wheel cracked, and I'm sure there was other damage to the front of the bike. One thing I also wanted to explain was why I didn't go anywhere after the incident and he was in front of me. For one thing, I didn't know if his leg was broken and he couldn't get off the track. I asked him, "Are you okay?" And his eyes were about this big. And I could tell he was like in the middle of the track, "Don't leave me," basically, because I was a big marker for all the other riders. I just put my trust in the flag marshals and the other riders that they could see us and they knew the warning was out there. I just threw my hands up in the air to try to be a bigger warning to all the other riders. They went by us, and once he stood up, which I was amazed his leg wasn't broken, he trotted off the track, and then I got off the track back because I didn't want to stay there too. The quicker I get off the track, the quicker medical can get to him and take care of the situation, and I'm out of the way, and that's why I took off afterwards. You know, your comments are welcome. Be respectful, okay? But I'd love to hear your comments, how it could be handled differently. Remember, people are in the heat of the moment at this time and everything, and reactions aren't instantaneous all the time. But comments are definitely welcome. Love to hear what you have to say about it. I'm glad nobody's hurt. And I would say I'm going to have another video after this with just some track time on the Ducati, just for fun, to see some things going on in the track, you know, with my usual stuff that I put out there after COTA. You guys keep on keeping on. We'll chat you next time.